This MTG box analysis will focus on the opening of a Phyrexia All-Be-One Draft Booster box that took place on April 10th, 2023. We'll begin by comparing the cards we saw in the box to the cards that were possible to obtain in a Draft Booster pack. Then we'll examine set coverage, coverage by rarity, and duplication. To establish a baseline for value, we'll first analyze the value of the set and then break down the actual observed value in the box. Finally, we'll close things out with a summary. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box, plus at least 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Let's start things off with a comparison of the cards we were eligible to see versus the actual cards we saw in today's box. Using this chart, we can see the foils we observed in orange, the non-foils in green, and the set in gray as the baseline. In the non-foil space, we saw a very consistent distribution among the primary colors of Magic, with a variance of only 9 cards between red 73 and greens 82. We also saw 11 showcase, 3 borderless, and 1 Phyrexian text card in non-foil. In the foil space, we saw at least 1 foil in all of the major categories of the set. Moving into coverage, in the non-foil space, we saw 235 unique cards out of a possible 343 that we were eligible to see. This gave us 69% coverage of the set. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was a tie between white and green, with each having 87%. In the foil space, we saw 12 unique cards, which gave us 3% coverage of the 343 cards we were eligible to see. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was still a two-way tie, but this time it was between white and red, with each having 5% coverage. Pivoting to coverage by rarity, in the non-foil space, we saw every single common we were eligible to see, along with 94% of the uncommons. We also saw 29 rares for 32% coverage and 7 mythics for 15% coverage. In the foil space, we saw 5% of the commons, 3% of the uncommons, plus 3 foil rares for 3% coverage. This means that in total, we saw 32 rares and 7 mythics in these 36 packs. From a duplication standpoint, we saw 137 non-foil cards repeated 293 times for a box duplication rate of 54%. We saw 45 playsets of common cards, and we saw 5 copies of the 9-cent Planar Disruption. Before we take a look at the value that we saw in today's draft booster box, let's take a look at the cards we were eligible to see from the set using this chart, which shows non-foil market prices as of April 9th, 2023. Currently, there are 14 non-foils eligible to be pulled out of a draft booster box valued over $10. There's 2 Mondrak Glory Dominuses valued between $22 and $24, 2 Atraxa Grand Unifiers valued between $21 and $24. There's also a few big hitters in the Concept Praetor space, with the Vorinclex Monstrous Raider being valued at $64 and Shieldred the Apocalypse valued at $77. There's also 5 different versions of Elish Norn valued between $30 and $75. In draft boxes, you can also find 16 other cards valued between $5 and $10, and 44 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 269 cards are currently valued less than $1. If you were to add up the market value of all 343 cards that you can pull from a draft booster pack, you'd be looking at a grand total market value of $788.52. Now let's take a look at the actual observed value in this box, starting off in the non-foil space. Based on our previous analysis, there were 14 cards in the set valued over $10, and we managed to find 3 of them. We saw the Atraxa Grand Unifier valued at $21.63, the Elish Norn from the main set valued at $30.33, and the Phyrexian version of Elish Norn valued at $44.18. We also saw 2 non-foils in the $5 to $10 range and 14 non-foils priced between $1 and $5. The remaining 509 non-foils in the box were all valued less than $1. Unfortunately, none of the foils in this box were valued over $3. The best card that we saw was the foil Eternal Wanderer valued at $2.29. The other 11 foils in the box were all valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box through a Patreon agreement for $89 even. The current market price for these boxes as of April 9th, 2023 is $117.60. Today's draft booster box contained 36 packs with 15 cards each, allowing us to see a total of 540 cards. The 34 tokens that we saw have a market value of $10.31. The 36 non-foil and 1 foil full art basic lands have a market value of $13.38 combined. The 353 commons are currently valued at $13.50, and the 111 uncommons are valued at $10.17. The 32 rares that we saw have a value of $34.97, and finally, those 7 mythics are valued at an amazing $111.44. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $193.77 in market value, which is a gain of $104.77 over the price I paid. This means that this box returned 218% of my purchase price in card value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 15 cards valued over $2 in this box, and they have a current combined value of $137.62, which means that those 15 cards represent 71% of the total box value and more than paid for the box. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.